Hello, everybody, and welcome to another cup of self-empowerment to trust, heal, and be thyself. I'm absolutely delighted to have this conversation with the beautiful Becky Burns. Becky, thank you so much for joining us today. And for those who don't know Becky, let me just give you a little background knowledge on Becky and who she is, what she does, and everything, because I'm sure you're going to be equally as interested in this conversation as I am. Becky Burns of the Holden Space is a manifesting generator, a connector of people, a teacher, an energy healer, and a holder of space. Becky is a licensed TIMBO facilitator, which is trauma-informed mind-body, an advanced IET therapist, which is integrated energy therapy. And she combines these two healing modalities to help heal trauma. So welcome to a cup of self-empowerment. And tell us, Becky, how did you start your journey to trust thyself?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me, Kelly. I'm excited to be here. So I was thinking about this question, and I think I started before I knew I was on a journey to healing. I just was looking for a way to kind of calm myself through some anxiety-ridden times in my life. So I looked into like meditation and that kind of stuff. And I always had an interest in like spirituality and like astrology and stuff like that. But I had shut that part of myself off for a long time. Kind of was like ignoring it, I guess.
What led you to shut it off, if I may ask?
I think when I was younger, it scared me a little bit. Connecting in that way. And I thought I also had fear about what people would think about me.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable.
You know, like, because
I think a lot of us can relate to that big time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, it would be like, oh, she's crazy. She's she just like believes in all that weird astrology or, So anyway, I just stopped talking about it, I guess, even though I was always interested in it. And then my daughter had trauma as a teenager, which kind of rocked our entire family in a horrific way. And I didn't have any tools to help her. I mean, we did the best we could. With the circumstance. She was sexually assaulted and she was only 13. And we didn't know that right away, but she, her behaviors were just like kind of out of the blue. And it was, it's a whole long story and that's her story to tell at some point. But I didn't realize that I was traumatized as well. I didn't have that awareness.
Well, yeah, because you obviously had to show up and try and, do mum on a whole different level, which you weren't even contemplating about. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And you've also got your emotions attached to what everything happened to your daughter.
Well, exactly. So I'm trying to like, numb my pain.
That's really difficult.
Well, yeah. And then I would be in her trauma, stress, anxiety with her. Instead of being able to help her, I would just be in it with her, which is so
easily done. Oh my goodness, it's so easily done.
Yeah, because I didn't know what else to do.
No, who would? Seriously, no, you just don't know.
Right. So eventually I came up with the opportunity through my sister-in-law. She paid for my training to do the TIMBO training, which is trauma-informed mind body. It's gender-based for women, but I think it can help everybody.
Yeah. And
so I went through these trainings and I went in with the anticipation of just like, oh, I'm just going to learn how to help other people.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Interesting that you had to learn others, because a lot of people go in with the anticipation, I'm just going to learn how to deal with myself. But it's great that you went with that intention purely to go and help others, obviously to help your daughter. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize
as trauma likes to do and show
that
up.
I needed to do my own healing work first.
Yeah.
So then I could help other people and also go through the whole process, the program. And so it really helped me help heal myself. I mean, I think it's a continuous journey, but
Yeah,
healing the
basically leads on to my next question. How did you start to heal yourself? So we may as well just step in straight away there, because you know that obviously trust in yourself, you know, for someone to offer that gift to you, you know, that was, you know, that's an opportunity which you amazingly grabbed with both hands. And then to see how that trusting that opportunity, taking it on, allowing yourself to take this opportunity, you know, it started this whole ball rolling of you, you know, healing thyself, but also those around you as well. So yeah, please continue about how you started with that.
Yeah. So my first day in group, it was this big group of women sitting in a circle, and I literally was like feeling unworthy, not wanting to be seen, didn't want to talk.
Shitless probably as well.
Oh yeah.
I would be scared shitless.
Right. I didn't know what to expect. And I was pretty quiet the first day, but the second day I literally like just opened some gateway and just had all these women holding space for me as I released this built up grief and pain that I had been carrying that I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
You know, and I had never had any experience like that in my life where I felt like I was allowed.
Wow, that's powerful.
To just release in a safe space and not have anybody stop me or feel or
that's so precious. Yeah.
It was the hugest gift.
Yeah.
And I just, as hard as and uncomfortable as it felt at times, I wouldn't change it for the world, because I learned tools in order to help my daughter when she was having her anxiety, and I could sit back and breathe.
Wow.
And hold space for her and not try and fix her or save her. Not that I wouldn't be supportive or whatever,
I
but
understand.
like,
Yeah, completely understand. Yeah. But sometimes we just have to be that space holder for that person to just unravel so they can unbound. And, you know, through that unbounding, you know, it's where the healing starts, and it's painful and it's messy. We all know that. And it's, you know, especially if it's really close to you, like your family, it's your daughter, you know, that's a difficult one, because you've got to take the mum lens kind of off for a little bit, so you can just hold that space without, you know, letting all the mum emotions, all that anger, you know, stuff which was coming up, because that's your baby still. It doesn't matter how old she is. She's still your baby, you know. And how dare, you know, that's, you know, we can easily go down that road of anger and, you know, whoa. But yeah, so wow, respect to you.
and I had all that too. Like I had the anger, like I wanted to hurt the person. I was having all the emotions around it. I just didn't know what to do with them at that time.
Yeah.
And what I had been brought up to do was just like stuff it down.
Like
you know, right. Society is like, don't be weak, don't show, you know, don't cry.
You're the adult here, you've got to hold yourself together, kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And that's what it felt like. It felt like I had to hold myself together, but I, you know, clearly I wasn't.
You were doing your absolute best, and you were doing exactly what was needed in that time. So, you know, there's no regret there at all, because you were doing as you could. You were showing up as the best as you could at that point in time.
Right. And like, I can now have that compassion for myself.
And
that was a huge gift too, to learn self-compassion and self-love, and then be able to have compassion for other people in my life, and not stay in that victim mode and blame other people for how I felt.
Yeah, that's just the human in us, you know. That's just, you know, that's what, you know, we've kind of been used to doing. We've, you know, always looked outside of ourselves, you know.
And so what we learned in the TIMBO program, Suzanne Jones, who wrote There's Nothing to Fix, and she created the TIMBO program.
Mm-hmm.
She came up with this theory of adaptation, how when we are children, we figure out how to survive, how to stay connected with our caregivers, our parents, or
Okay.
who's ever in charge of our well-being.
Yeah.
So we figure out how to be like, example, my mom used to always say, you better stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh yeah, I had that one.
Yeah, many people have heard that. And so I learned to stop
I mean,
crying, right?
our poor mums, I mean, they probably got that said to them. So, yeah.
Right. So, but I was able to have compassion for my mom after learning this. And, but I always swore before I even knew any of this, I would never say that to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never knew how to express my emotions in a healthy way.
Yeah.
I never learned how to express anger.
I definitely think you're not alone on that one.
Yeah,
I think there's a huge bunch of us out there who, can really, really, really relate to this.
Yeah, if I was trying to express my anger, I would get so frustrated that I would end up crying and not be able to communicate clearly what I want, clearly what I wanted to say. And it would be like this frustration. And then I would just end up not being able to even speak. So I learned I had to sit and write out what I wanted to say so I could think clearly in the moment.
Yeah.
But I've gotten better at it, but I used to just start crying because I couldn't communicate.
Relatable. So relatable.
Yeah, my throat chakra just got.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but obviously now you've been doing on this work, and as you said, healing is a continuous journey. There is never like a finishing line where you can go through and say, yay, I've done it all. No, but that's the part of being, walking this path, the path of, being human on this earth is, it is a school. And we learn to shift our energy and shift our emotions and be able to catch ourselves maybe sometimes quicker than others. And the deeper we unravel our own stuff and the deeper we heal, more stuff does come up. Different stuff comes up, or it comes
Absolutely.
up in your surroundings somewhere. It ripples out somewhere. So there's always, I don't want to scare anyone by saying this, there's always something to do, but it actually becomes, once you do start walking this path, it's very difficult to get off it, because you just want to be that bigger, that better version of yourself each and every time. You're always seeing yourself where okay, I can improve there, but without the judgment. It's kicking that judgment away.
That's a huge part of this program, is allowing yourself to feel what you feel without judging that you feel that way. We've all been in our society brought up to be like, oh, get over it, snap out of it.
Oh yeah,
and
totally.
So, I used to walk around going, well, you shouldn't feel this way. Why are you feeling sad?
You're so lucky you've got this, and this. Yeah.
Right.
There's always a judgment there. That's why I like going in the Akash, because then I know if I go up there and start doing some work, no judgment whatsoever, which is always very cool. So Becky, tell us how, how you've really now stepped in, obviously it's a process, but you've actually started being true to yourself. You're standing sovereignly in yourself and being thyself, when do you think the moment was when you actually started doing this?
I would say it's probably been more recent
Yeah.
than later.
Yeah, that's absolutely normal as well. And, what kind, is there like a how point where you would say, okay, when I started doing this, I actually felt like I was being true to me?
I can think of a big moment, and I know I keep talking about the TIMBO program, but it was such a huge part of my healing.
We'll have you back and you can talk the whole program with us at some point, definitely, because I think this is going to be thoroughly interesting for a lot of viewers, definitely.
So I had this opportunity to travel to Kenya to teach the TIMBO program to widows of the Rona Foundation in Kenya.
Oh,
not just me, but each traveler had to fundraise and raise $5,000 US.
Wow.
And I'd never done anything like this before, but I always knew I had to go to Africa.
Oh,
Even
wow.
before Timbo, I was like, as soon as they said they were going, I'm like, I'm in. Don't know how I'm going to do this, but I am going. I was determined.
You trusted and it worked out.
I trusted
Yeah.
myself to do this. And I remember like having meltdowns about like the technology part of like keeping track and like the donations and doing all, and like I literally was sobbing in my dining room, and my husband did not, he's like trying to help me, and I'm like, I just need to like I just need to feel
He
this.
probably felt really helpless in the moment.
He did. And I was just like, of course, everything's going through my head. Like, I don't deserve to go to Kenya. I'm too stupid. I can't do, like,
All that
I was
bad
in it.
negative self-talk, not good.
Oh yeah. And I knew I was doing it because now I have this awareness that I can't get rid of.
Yeah. The joy of the awareness.
So like I'm watching myself over here have this meltdown, but it was good. I mean, my daughter came over and she helped me through it, and I was able to do it.
Wow.
So, and I went to Kenya for 17 days and it was amazing.
Oh, it sounds awesome. Oh, it sounds
Yeah.
incredible.
So that was
Wow.
a huge confidence builder for me. And the more I stepped through that fear.
Yes, that really was your stepping into, being thyself, definitely saying that,
Yeah. So
this is what I've always wanted to do. This is what my intuition, that nagging, that niggling I've been having the time, like I've got to go to Africa, it's being delivered to me. Okay, I'm going to trust it. Okay, it's scaring hell out of me and I'm overwhelmed, but I've got this. And you had the
yeah.
support network around you to support you on that, because obviously, everyone wants to help each other, especially if it's family. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that brings me so much joy. That's so lovely. So what advice would you like to give anyone who's watching us today, on their journey to master thyself?
I would like to say, to, even though you have that fear, if you have that fear, we all have it. Fear is something that keeps us safe.
Yeah.
Just take that first little baby step. Just do the baby step. Do it for yourself. It gets easier.
It gets scarier at times as well.
Yes. It's uncomfortable, but there is the other side where you start actually feeling more joy and happiness in your life.
You do.
That is the gift.
It is. It most
So
certainly is.
That would be my advice.
Super.
That there's another side, that there's the layers come off and you just feel lighter in your body and your energy.
That's lovely. That's so nicely put. I really like that. So how would you be able to, if someone's thinking, hey, I really resonate with Becky and what she's talking about, I'm really keen to know more about the TIMBO or the EFT, how can people reach out to you? How can people find you?
On Facebook, they can message me through Messenger. I did have a website, but like I wasn't really utilizing it. And so I'm just like, you know what? Find me on Facebook.
Under what name?
Becky Edwards Burns.
Okay.
And I also have a group called the Holding Space RI.
Okay.
It's a group, not a page. So
I've just literally realized RI, sorry, don't laugh at me, it's Rhode Island. Sorry.
That's okay.
I just wish you went light bulb.
Because I'm based in Rhode Island in the USA, which is, we are the smallest state in the union. We're a tiny little ocean state. Yeah.
I'm going to get there one day. I'll make sure of it.
We're in between New York and Boston.
Okay.
Or Boston and New York. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Are you on Instagram as well?
I am on Instagram at the Holding Space RI.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
That's absolutely fine.
So
some people don't do Facebook. Some people are not in, Instagrammers, just whatever, works for everyone else. But no, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we will definitely love to have you back on again so you can talk more about the TIMBO program, because
I love it. Thank you.
I know
there's
so much what you would love to share, and especially because you've actually walked yourself through it and walked through your daughter and so many other people as well. I think, there's a lot of golden nuggets there what we would love you to share with us. So
thank you so much.
Thank you. And for everyone who's been watching today, thank you so much for taking the time for thyself today and, checking in with thyself and listening to our wonderful conversation. And I hope it's brought you as much joy and knowledge as it has me today as well. So thank you, everyone. And until we see each other again, take care and look after thyself. Bye-bye.